Okay, welcome. First rule of leadership class, you got to lead from the front. So everybody move up one row. We'll take it slow. All right. So this is going to be my little leadership class. What am I trying to accomplish in this class? The purpose of this class is to explain what leadership looks like in K construction. So we're going to be going through leadership books to learn the principles, but then I'm going to apply it to K construction specifically. Anybody that is a leader in K construction, anybody that wants to be a leader in K construction, it'll be a roadmap. What am I looking for? I want to start off by defining what K construction, what is the definition of leadership inside of K construction? Okay, so not the English definition, but my definition. So my definition of leader is being out front. So if I say a leader, you're in front. If you're a leader, you're in front of the problem. If there's a problem, you're out there dealing with it. If there's being out front, like for me as the CEO, being out front, thinking into the future, what problems are 2 years out that I can anticipate now. So think about that when I say leader is being out front. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this clip. It's from Band of Brothers. Who's seen Band of Brothers? Good, about half you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna break this clip down because I believe it exemplifies leadership. So in this clip, you'll see that this is Easy Company. They've become pinned down, so they've stalled. They're not moving forward. In business, in life, anywhere, I believe that's death is when you stop moving forward. I like the quote, motion is lotion. Get moving, it'll get better. So there's 3 people in here. There's Dyke. He is the individual that is ineffective. He's the one that's supposed to be leading. He's supposed to be out front. He's scared, shell-shocked. He stops. Everything stops. Winters is the captain. He is willing to go in to lead. He is not scared. But then as the general shouts at him and says, you need to delegate that. So you'll see that. And Winters, for those of you who have seen it, Winters is the true leader. There's a lot of leaders in there, but Winters is the leader that I want to focus on. That's who I want you guys to be. That's who I'm trying to be. That's what we're all aiming at. And then Spears is the guy that Winters sends in, and that's the teammate we all want. And that's the teammate we all want to be. He's the guy that unquestioningly charges forward. Okay? So I think I'll play it twice because I want to break it down, but let's just watch it all the way through the first time and then we'll talk about it.
first the generals didn't shoot at him. I think they couldn't quite believe that they were seeing. But that wasn't the really astounding thing. The astounding thing was that after he hooked up with our company, he came back.
Okay, start that over. I want to break it down just a little bit. Again, this is exemplifying what I'm talking about. Okay, pause it. So he says keep moving. That's what I was talking about when he's not supposed to be in the fight. That's Winters. He's supposed to be watching everything, making sure it's going according to plan. He sees what will be the death of everybody, and that's that they've stopped. So forward movement. Okay, so go ahead. Okay, pause it. So General, I forget the General's name. He says, that's not your job. So, and he's right. That wasn't Winter's job to go lead the charge. But his willingness is what I want to focus on. His willingness was to get out front, right, to lead, to keep from stalling. Okay. Okay, pause it again. Spears doesn't hesitate. He knows it could be death, right? Taking the tack on in. He knows it's a dangerous scenario that everybody stopped. Doesn't hesitate. And in business, we're not dealing with life and death, like physically, but we are dealing with life and death monetarily. Maybe life and death with a customer. Maybe customer's not going to utilize us if we don't react a certain way. And so that Spears is the teammate. I said that's the teammate we all want to be, and all the teammate we want to fight alongside. No hesitation. Go forward. All right, go ahead. Okay, pause it. So that's Dyke, Lieutenant Dyke, who's just sitting there shell shocked. Okay, and there's a big difference between war and construction, and so I just want to point out again, we're not getting shot at. Nobody's dying, but what we're doing is hard, much like that is hard, and what we do isn't for everybody, and that's certainly not for Dyke. Dyke was ineffective. And so I have to remember that as a leader, that sometimes what we do isn't for everybody, and it's what we're in is a tough business. It is a battle some days. So he comes in, he says, Spears says, I'm taking over, and then play a little bit more. Okay, pause it. So he gets the assessment, what the scenario is, and then he makes a very decisive decision. We think there's a sniper. Put all the grenades and mortars on the building. You guys go around the end. Everybody else follow me straight in. Okay, very very definitive, and that's what leadership is. And in the movie here, it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. But the decisiveness is what's required to give it any shot at working. Sitting there wasn't doing anything, right? Peeking around the hay bale, maybe lobbing a few bullets in doesn't do anything. And so the decisiveness of forward is what I view as leadership. Okay, if you get a chance, go look that up on YouTube. Put your earbuds in. Listen to the dialogue. It's really hard to grab, but there's like one frame where it shows Spears again, just sitting there shell shocked, and it's right after the mortar. Here, just play it. We'll see if we can catch it. It's right after they launch the mortar. Okay, pause it. You see that? The mortar, and then he's still sitting there. And I think what the directors are portraying is he couldn't command them to do what they just did, which is what needed to be done. Put the mortars on the building with the sniper in it. Move forward. Just couldn't do it. Okay, so building a team is simple. It's hard. I like to say that a lot. I like to say, yeah, something's easy. It's hard. And by easy, I mean simple. Building a team takes two things. It takes courage. It takes persistence. You've got to stick with it. And that's why I like Band of Brothers so much. You watch that whole series. It shows them all the way through training or through boot camp and all the training they went through to build that team. That team didn't come together in this moment. It was the months and the months of work before that. So here at K Construction, I truly believe that our competitive advantage is our team. We are the largest construction company in Yankton. And if you look at everybody who we're competing against, they don't have a team. It's them. It's maybe them and another person, so a small team, but there's no team like we have. So why is teamwork our competitive advantage? Because a lot of businesses don't emphasize teamwork. They don't work on teamwork because it's hard. Go do the easy thing. Go spend money on ads. It's cheaper than trying to develop a team. So I've always been trying to develop a team, and now I'm getting a little bit more sophisticated with this class and with what we're doing here. So the teamwork isn't just going to benefit you here at K Construction. No, it's going to benefit you everywhere. It's in your life, in your church, in your family, everywhere. Because I believe in building people, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make you guys better. All right. We're going to go through this book. So our next leadership meeting, we're going to do the leadership meeting on the first Shop Friday of the month. So not next Shop Friday, but the Shop Friday after that. You guys have this book read. It's an easy read. It reads like a story. He calls it a fable. It's a really good read. It's called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. And then we're going to go through this, and we'll take then each leadership meeting, we'll take one of the 5 dysfunctions and talk about it. So if you're anything like me, you just want to know what the 5 dysfunctions are right now. So I'm going to tell you. The first dysfunction is the absence of trust. If we can't trust each other, there is no team. You see that in sports. You know, what are the most dysfunctional teams? The teams that are always pointing inward, right? Well, if you'd have thrown the ball better, I'd have caught it. Well, if you had better hands, you'd have caught it, right? So the absence of trust is the very first dysfunction. As soon as Spears got there to relieve Dyke, you could see it. Everybody was relieved. We got a leader now. They trusted him. The second dysfunction is fear of conflict. And we're going to really hone in on that one, because when you can't conflict with each other, you can't be honest with each other. And you have to trust each other first to be able to be honest with each other. The third dysfunction is lack of commitment. Are you all in? Again, you see that in sports teams. The teams that buy in, that'll do anything to get the win, get the championship, are the ones that win. So the fifth dysfunction is lack of commitment. The fourth one is avoidance of accountability, and that's the extreme ownership we talk about with Jocko's book. When you avoid accountability, you start pointing at everybody except yourself. And then the fifth dysfunction is inattention to results. And that's where you're setting aside your personal or your individual needs for the needs of the team. You're results oriented instead of individual oriented. So, all right, so we're going to talk about all 5 dysfunctions. We'll go through them one at a time, and then I will tell you guys what K construction looks like with these. So, 2 questions I have. Number 1, are we really a team? And then I just want your honest feedback. Do you guys think we're a team? I'd say we're a pretty good team, yeah. Obviously, room for improvement, that's why we're doing this. But are we really a team? If you really think we're a team, the second question is, are you ready for some heavy lifting? Are you ready for those tough questions? That's number 2, fear of conflict. And I'd say we are, but we're about to find out. So, the cheese is always moving, right? We talk about the cheese moving. And I'm going to say it again, like I talked about with, I keep forgetting his name, with Dyke. Lieutenant Dyke was afraid, he was inefficient, he was shell-shocked, he was scared, he didn't move forward. Whoever works here has to be the opposite of that, because what we do is tough. And I'm here to win, and that's who I want on my team. So, all right, so that's what we'll be doing. And then when we're done with this book, I've got more books lined up, and we'll keep going through them. Again, emphasizing what I'm looking here for at K Construction. This isn't some psychological class. There's no fluff here. This is practical. What do I want at K Construction? So to start with, there will be no running and gunning and getting shot at, unless it's paintball. All right, so grab a book and then read it, have it completely read by the next leadership meeting. So the first shop Friday of the month. And I'll send out reminders too. So, all right, thank you guys.